It's the enemy of the state. Those things are like war criminals on wheels. Oh my God. I'm struggling to find a compelling angle at this mall, and I just can't find it. And I keep almost getting hit by these Mario Kart things that are driving around this mall too. They're everywhere. Whoa, oh my God. All right, look, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna FO. We're gonna get out of this mall, and we're gonna go up the street to the Eden Center. So here we are at the Eden Center. We're gonna start in Saigon East. Right behind that is Saigon West. There's one of the entrances, I don't know which way I'm pointing my finger, one of the entrances, and then the other one is over here. I can't even see myself right now. Oh my God, it's such a disaster. Oh, look how sweaty the door looks. Ugh. Ugh. God, I hope this rain stops soon. YouTube.com/Sal. Come and join us. Go now. Subscribe now. Hey, what's up, Legion? My name is Sal, and this is another expedition log. Filming this episode was a total disaster. We're going to begin this grand expedition at a disgustingly bland 2 million square foot mall where I suffer an existential crisis of dead mall faith, which ultimately forces me to drive 20 minutes north to a quaint Vietnamese mini mall so we can collectively cleanse our palates with some claustrophobic enclosed concourses loaded with character. As always, I hope all of you are doing well out there and that you and yours are staying healthy and happy. Thanks especially to my patrons, elite explorers, super chatters, and everyone who's bought merch from my website. To see what I've got for sale, go to salvatoreamadeo.com/merch to browse my collection. Over the last 9 months, I've been traveling around the Northern Virginia and general DC metro area documenting its incredibly diverse set of shopping malls, and including this episode, we've got 3 ExLogs left in Phase 8. I'm so sorry for the wait on this episode, Legion. I've been absolutely swamped this past month. A few weeks ago, I traded in my old truck Nightwing, and I bought a 2025 Explorer ST named Galactus. I finished the month adopting a new puppy named Coco and performing Star Wars at a music festival in Pennsylvania near the abandoned Chambersburg Mall. I've been stupid busy, but I'm always going to find time for all of you out there. So, for your consideration, I'd like you all to come take a walk with me through the Springfield Town Center Mall, and then up to the Eden Center Mini Mall for a full nighttime tour. But first, a word from our sponsor, the 1990 Ford Explorer, and a brief spot from the original Springfield Mall. Enjoy.
The 90s are here, and so is a way to explore new horizons. The new 4-door Explorer from Ford. Explore an interior with more room than any competitor. Explore exclusive push-button 4-wheel drive. Explore 4-liter power. Discover 4-door Explorer from Ford.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Flight from London now arriving.
Springfield Mall, and don't spare the horses.
Springfield Mall would like to apologize to the good people of London for the recent decline in business caused by more people shopping at Springfield Mall instead.
Gosh, it's big.
For the fact is, Springfield Mall has everything you need under one roof.
I say.
So a trip to London might not be worth it. Sorry.
No harm done, then. Cheerio.
See platform modeling at Springfield Mall on Father's Day, June 15th.
In the late 1960s and 1970s, the United States would conquer the final frontier. We defeated the Soviets in the race to land on the moon when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the lunar surface in 1969. The space race ended in 1975 when we collaborated with the Soviets in the joint Apollo-Soyuz mission to dock our spacecrafts together in orbit and then land back on Earth for the first time in history. Then Star Wars: A New Hope was released to theaters in 1977, becoming a worldwide cultural phenomenon overnight. As a matter of fact, when I performed Star Wars last month in PA, the entire hall was sold out. Speaking of music, the 1970s gave birth to some legendary rock and pop tunes, and people danced. They danced so hard at discos. But the 1970s were also mired in conflict, and the Vietnam War, serving as a proxy conflict for the ongoing Cold War, is ultimately what defined the decade. When the Vietnam War ended, veterans didn't come home to parades, but rather political tension catalyzed by their efforts and sacrifice overseas. The 1970s were a terrifying, but colorful and whimsical time, and small cities such as Springfield, Virginia were no exception. In the wake of the Vietnam War and the nascent rise of serial killers such as Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and Son of Sam killer David Berkowitz, cities around the US were tense with a mixture of patriotic and economic fatigue and deep social anxiety, trying desperately to cling on to whatever innocence and whimsy they had left. Because of the fear baked into society through the 1960s and 70s, folks just needed a respite and a place to feel safe and normal. The answer to this was the shopping mall, an indoor retail oasis filled with fountains, gardens, and conversation pits where people could hang out, shop, and eat hot dogs. Right here in Virginia, the Springfield Mall opened in 1973. This mall was massive for its time, at over 1 million square feet, and it was designed with incredible character and grandeur, even hosting Princess Diana here as she shopped at JCPenney in 1985. But Springfield Mall would ultimately fall victim to overmalling and underperforming anchor stores, resulting in its redevelopment to the Springfield Town Center, a boring, bleached-out archetype of modern 21st century malls.
The new Springfield Town Center is now officially open to shoppers.
And our Suzanne Kennedy had the tough assignment of the day. She's pulled through and she is there live with a report. Suzanne?
Well, both of you, this has been years in the making. Really exciting news for here in Springfield, Virginia. It opened about 2 hours ago, just in time for the critical holiday shopping season. After a massive 2-year renovation, the retooled, rebranded Springfield Town Center is open for business. Shoppers lined up before sunrise to be the first through the door. Their motivation was simple.
Free stuff. It's all about shopping, good stuff, having fun.
I love shopping, so why not?
New mall features upscale stores and has a Tyson's Galleria feel. The opening is a shot in the arm for this section of Fairfax County. When the doors opened, a flood of shoppers streamed in, searching for bargains and soaking it all in. Despite being a weekday, it is very busy here, and the parking lot is full of cars. The mall is at about 80% occupancy. That means there are about 60 stores that are now.
Welcome to the Springfield Town Center in Springfield, Virginia. I was so excited to see this mall after I saw a few pictures of its center courtyard online. There's this giant staircase that leads down to an open area with clerestory windows 2 floors above the concourse and a stately wooden elevator hiding between 2 catwalk bridges that connect the floor above. Just seeing this was enough to get me out there, and I've been stoked to see it for quite a while now. But as you'll see in this footage, the mall as it stands today is a grim reminder of the aesthetic language that most successful modern shopping malls have adopted. Bland, bleached, and sterile with absolutely no character. So let's jump into the historical narrative to a better time in this mall's history, back to the 1970s. In 1970, Mall Properties Incorporated, which was the operating arm of the New York-based Arthur M. Fisher Development Company, formed a partnership with Virginia-based Franconia Associates to develop a new shopping mall for the greater Springfield, Virginia population. Mr. Fisher was an alumnus of the Columbia University Graduate School of Business and came up developing his development chops as VP of Commercial Properties at the J.I. Kislak Real Estate Brokerage Company for 10 years. He would then become president of Mall Properties, Inc., and go on to open notable properties like the Coliseum Mall in Hampton, Virginia, the Northway Mall in Colony, New York, and the currently thriving Plaza Las Americas in Puerto Rico. It was on a bitter cold and dangerously icy morning of February 22, 1971, that Mr. Fisher would wake up to celebrate George Washington's 239th birthday by hosting a fake groundbreaking ceremony for his new upcoming mall at the Springfield Country Club in a makeshift ceremonial tent to protect the fragile executives from the chilly weather and snowflakes outside. Work would take about 2 years to complete, and the Springfield Mall had its grand opening and actually legitimate ribbon-cutting ceremony on February 28, 1973. The mall was actually gargantuan for its time, and it had 1.2 million square feet of leasable area on a plot of land that spanned 80 acres, and it would open with 4 senior anchors. There was a 154,350 square foot Landsberg's department store, a 90,000 square foot Garfinkel's, a 186,041 square foot Montgomery Ward, and a sizable 199,148 square foot JCPenney that had an accessory building and a penthouse for executives and their offices. The complete budget for constructing the mall wasn't made public, but it is estimated to have cost somewhere between $20 and $40 million.
A statement of classical elegance for the established man. Honor him with Aramis and receive the first-class travelers, a collection of Aramis grooming needs. Your gift with any $10 purchase of Aramis, Devon, or Aramis 900. Now at all Garfinkel stores.
On the morning of the mall's grand opening, the Springfield Independent newspaper printed a special edition with all 20 pages dedicated solely to the Springfield Mall. There was a modest profile on the middle of page 5 about the architect who designed the Springfield Mall, who was fellow Columbia University graduate and Yugoslavian émigré Nikita Zhukov. The mall was laid out with 4 distinct courtyards, each numbered inside and out to clearly guide customers to said courtyards' respective senior anchors. There were sunken and enclosed carpeted conversation pits in each of the courtyards, with several recessed planters around the mall, featuring robust foliage. Terrazzo floors lined the concourses with dozens of skylights and clerestory windows, bringing in crazy amounts of natural light. The mall had 2 stories of inline tenants. There was a sunken exhibition stage. There was even a 3-level structure made entirely of glass, sticking out of the roof, which housed 3 specialty shops right in the center of the mall.
Look at him. Look at him.
One of the strangest additions I've ever heard of, though, was a narrow lighthouse-style ladder created on a multi-level catwalk concept. While the mall manager Tony Caggiano said that overall the mall was, quote, lacking frills but visually impressive, close quote, he did also state that the janky lighthouse stairs did sway a little at times. The Springfield Mall would employ a system of customer service and store security that was totally unique for the time, and something I kind of wish they would bring back today. John Tomer was the surveillance and service manager for the mall, and he introduced a team of men who would be uniformed in white pants and shirts with a tie and distinctive red blazers that had the Springfield Mall emblem embroidered boldly like the Eye of Sauron. Tomer trained these men personally with the singular mission of assisting every single shopper in any and every manner of service and surveillance that they might need here at the Springfield Mall. Then, just months after the grand opening, senior anchor Landsberg's would shutter in June of 1973 after the entire chain was dissolved, and would be replaced by an EJ Corvettes later that summer.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Oh, I didn't even see him. I'm really not digging this mall. It's super busy. It's thriving. There's so much going on here. But let me show you the coolest part. Here, check this out. Look. Oh, it's filthy up there. Oh, look at all the dust. Somebody's not cleaning the elevator around here. Oh. It's the enemy of the state. Those things are like war criminals on wheels. Oh my God. By 1980, the entire Corvettes chain had gone defunct, leaving the Springfield Mall with a vacant anchor tenant space for the entire decade. However, in November of 1985, the mall would have a brush with royalty when Princess Diana descended upon the 1.2 million square foot beige and cream-tiled kingdom. Decked out with pearls and poise, the Princess of Wales would find herself at the Springfield Mall as part of her first multi-day royal visit to the United States. She didn't only come to the States to go shopping at the mall, though. And the trip also included a visit to the White House for meetings with President Reagan and a gala where she made headlines dancing with John Travolta, probably because of his 1977 hit movie Saturday Night Fever. The princess agreed to visit this mall so she could watch school children of Fairfax County perform on the giant stage at Courtyard 3. When the show concluded, she visited the JCPenney with Prince Charles for a photo op and wound up purchasing an $8 silk scarf, which she would wear quite often, further ingraining her as the people's princess. Her scarf purchase at the Springfield Mall JCPenney caused an incredible surge in silk scarf sales, which would persist through the rest of the 1980s. And her visit is also why you saw the British-themed Springfield Mall advertisement at the front of this episode. The Garfinkel's chain attempted an aggressive expansion through the 1980s, with new stores opening at the Annapolis Mall, Fair Oaks Mall, and a smaller-scale store at Georgetown Park. But the chain struggled to find their momentum and fell into Chapter 11 bankruptcy by 1990, forcing total liquidation of property and assets to pay down debt, seeing every location shutter, including the one at Springfield Mall. Then in August of 1991, the former Landsbergs turned Corvettes was gutted and reconfigured into a brand new Macy's, along with an accompanying parking garage. But just as the Macy's was moving in, the Garfinkel's anchor space was settling in for what would be a nearly 20-year vacancy, setting the stage for the early death of the Springfield Mall. After the turn of the millennium, the mall would make headlines when it was discovered that two of the hijackers involved in the September 11, 2001 attacks had illegally obtained driver's licenses from a DMV office at the Springfield Mall, which ultimately allowed them to board Flight 77, then crashed into the Pentagon.
Prices have just been slashed
on thousands of incredible items.
At the sale to end all sales,
they're going out of business.
Final sale
At your neighborhood Montgomery Ward store.
Get ready for the holidays with savings of 25 to 50% off all jewelry.
Take 20% off all electronics.
30% off all Christmas merchandise.
And 40% off all winter coats and leather jackets.
The once-in-a-lifetime savings.
Go on and on.
At Montgomery Ward's going out of business.
Final sale.
Shopping for the holidays
has never been like this.
The mall was already declining in the early aughts, having lost a second senior anchor space after the dissolution of the entire Montgomery Ward company by June of 2001. The hastening spiral would find its bottom in the mid-aughts when two gang-related stabbings occurred here at the mall in 2005. Then, in December of 2007, there was a fatal shooting at the mall, and the following year, in 2008, a 61-year-old woman was abducted from inside the mall by two assailants who stole her car and tried driving her to her bank to force her, with a fake gun, into withdrawing some money from her bank account. On the way, though, the assailants crashed the vehicle 18 miles south of the mall, actually right near the Potomac Mills Mall. The crash would critically injure the poor woman who was abducted and carjacked, and she succumbed to her injuries later that night. Springfield Mall became notorious for its seemingly uncontrollable crime through the later aughts. But already, by 2005, Arthur Fisher's Mall Properties Inc. had enough, and they put the property up for sale. Despite the crime, Springfield Mall generated a ton of interest in the real estate brokerage community, and the property was quickly sold later that year when New York-based Vornado Realty Trust optioned to buy the mall for $36 million. Optioning to buy just meant that they paid to reserve the right to purchase the mall outright and entirely at a later point in time. So they took a year and they did some market research just to ensure that the mall was actually worth their investment. 1 year later, they would ultimately secure permits and funding for the mall in 2006 and exercised their option to fully purchase the Springfield Mall for an additional $80 million, bringing the total purchase price to about $116 million. Vornado began seeking approval for redevelopment as soon as they purchased the mall, along with courting potential new anchor tenants. 3 years after they purchased the ailing Springfield Mall, Vornado publicly announced plans for a complete redevelopment of the property. The plans were announced in 2009 and approved later that year, according to a Fairfax County Planning Commission staff report. The redevelopment project called for demolition of the entire mall and its 2 vacant anchor spaces to completely build a new mall in its place. Because of the complexity in raising an entire mall within an active commercial area, permits and rezoning took some time to approve. But by 2012, the Springfield Mall and its surviving JCPenney and Macy's would close for renovations. Work would take about 2 years to complete, and while the original plans were to completely demolish the old mall, from what I can tell in state documents and aerial photos from the time, Vornado took the mall down to its skeleton superstructure and removed all combustibles, then remanufactured the new mall on top of those old bones. The work cost Vornado $250 million. On October 17, 2014, the mall reopened as the Springfield Town Center with 2 new anchor tenants. Target in the old Ward's footprint, and Sports Authority, which later turned into a Dick's Sporting Goods where Garfinkel's used to be. The result of Vornado's $250 million redevelopment here is what you've been seeing in this footage. Bland, bleached out, uninspired, and boring. But they kept the JCPenney relatively untouched from its original design, and I do believe that the sunken center court near the elevator resembles the multi-story stage layout that the original mall had, just with less color and character. I also can't help but think that someone in the office pulled the carousel out of a dumpster at midnight when the old mall was destroyed, because you can just tell that the carousel doesn't fit at all.
I've been walking around this mall now for like an hour, and it's just so busy. There's just people everywhere. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening, and I keep gravitating back towards the center court with the awesome staircase and the elevator and the incredible clear-story windows. Nothing else of interest to me here. Everything is just bleached out. I'm struggling to find a compelling angle at this mall, and I just can't find it. And I keep almost getting hit by these Mario Kart things that are driving around this mall too. They're everywhere. I can only show you the center court so many times before you're sick of it. This to me is the absolute only reason for you to come to see the Springfield Town Center. This is it. Come here. If you're a fan of retail and dead malls, you're not going to find a dead mall here, but you are going to find some really cool architectural elements. You're going to find a rad elevator. You're going to find this pretty sweet set of stairs back here, and a bunch of stores. A ton of people. There are a million of these Mario Kart things driving around. I swear, there's just a million of these Mario Kart things driving everywhere you go. and every one of them is trying to drive directly into my thigh meat. It's insane. I can't get away from them. I'm really sorry. So, all right, look, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna FO. We're gonna get out of this mall, and we're gonna go up the street to the Eden Center. I need to show you the Eden Center because people have been asking me about this place for a really long time. So we're gonna go up to Seven Corners and we're gonna go to the Eden Center, and I need to show you this place because, to be honest with you, the Springfield Town Center is kind of bumming me out right now. It's okay. It's okay. Not everything can be Century 3. It's okay. Not everything can be the Richland Mall. Not everything can be the Burlington Center. All right, let's all shake this one off. We got to shake this one off, Legion. Here, this is the coolest part of the mall. All right, let's go.
Vornado took the dead Springfield Mall and completely reshaped it into what most modern-day 21st century shopping malls look like. It almost seems as if, for a mall to be successful in 2025, they need to make a deal to sacrifice all of their character for that success. But you can't deny the success, and people flock to malls like this to spend serious amounts of money. So the very same year that the Springfield Town Center had its grand rededication, Vornado sold it to Priet for $465 million. The following year, Priet brought in a Dave & Buster's, which would help carry the mall in filling out the rest of the empty tenant stalls, culminating in a near 100% occupancy by 2019. COVID hit and had zero effect on the mall despite a temporary closure, and by the early 20s, it saw the opening of a Lego Discovery Center in August of 2023. I showed up in late June of 2025 to capture the footage you just watched, and I couldn't have been less excited by its underwhelming interior. Locals still say that the area in and around the Springfield Town Center is soaked with crime. One of the first images I saw of this mall from 2025 was of a police camera positioned in the parking lot with its blue light to deter criminals. But all that did was remind me of where I grew up in Baltimore, and it made me want to see this place even more. This mall doesn't feel unsafe at all, and there's a healthy security presence that might even feel safer if they went back to wearing the red blazers from the 70s again. But when you leave the mall and explore the exterior, you start to see the neglect and shadows of the former dead mall. I was actually excited to find these buildings sitting abandoned because this is just what appeals to me. The irony of an abandoned building sitting in the parking lot of a $500 million mall isn't lost on me at all. And after my own spiral into existential dread walking around inside the bleached out town center, the mold on these buildings had more color than the inside of the mall. And it just made me want to explore dead malls even more. And it also made me glad that I only have to produce 2 more episodes after this that cover living malls.
Okay, so there's the mall. Springfield Town Center's right there. The mall entrance, JCPenney's to the right, Target's there, and I see a Hilton Hotel over there. And there's this abandoned building right here. I'm not sure what it used to be. Voiceover Cell, let me know right now what it used to be.
It was a Montgomery Ward Auto Center, and it's been closed for like 20 years.
There's also another abandoned building over there, but it's just so run down on the outskirts of the parking lot. It's crazy. The mall is so nice inside, but I feel like there's just so much neglect happening on the out parcels. Let's see what's going on inside. Let's see. Oh. All right. Okay. So the inside of the Springfield Town Center is really nice. There's a ton of stores, there's a ton of people shopping, but I feel like once you come outside into the parking lot, it's just a different animal. There's just abandonment happening. There's neglect. There's a lot missing from the out parcels and from the direct area on the outskirts of Springfield Town Center. But I'm not gonna lie, so far, aside from the amazing center court with the staircase at Springfield Town Center right inside that we just saw, this right here, it's my favorite part. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna go to the Eden Center now. People have been asking me to go to the Eden Center for a while, and let's do it. All right, so we're gonna jump in the truck, we're gonna shoot over to the Eden Center, and I'm finally gonna show you this place. It's probably gonna be dark out when we get there, but let's take a quick side quest over there and see it. Even if it's closed, I wanna show you the inside of it, because I heard that it's also really busy. There's a ton of people that are usually there at like peak hours. So even if it's closed, I kind of hope that it's closed so that I can just show you the interior without all the people all over the place. But let's go. Let's go over to the Eden Center and let's get out of here, because I might get shot if I stay in the Springfield Town Center parking lot another minute or two. Oh, and what the hell is that? It's just that my engine's overheating. All right, let's go. Oh my God.
As we take just a few more seconds to enjoy the original 1973 JCPenney facade here at Springfield Town Center, we really do need to FO, so we can escape the mall's otherwise excruciating blandness to make our way north to Falls Church so we can finally visit the ailing mini mall called the Eden Center. I've been to Falls Church quite a few times before, and every time I go to Seven Corners, I get so lost.
Want me to do? Stay to the left, stay to the right. What?
The Seven Corners area in Falls Church has certainly seen better days, but it has a rich retail history that goes back to the 1950s. As I was driving out here to Eden Center, I was filming and driving and totally distracted with all the sights, so I kept taking wrong turns all over the place. My inability to pay attention to the one job I had behind the wheel, though, is going to give us the opportunity to take a few unintentional pit stops on our way to Eden Center. Stick with me here. Let me cook. Just let the disaster unfold.
All right, I have just completely butchered driving around Falls Church, Seven Corners here. My GPS has told me where to go, but I just totally screwed everything up. So I'm gonna show you a couple of these little shopping centers really quick, just as a quick detour. Come on. Oh, I did it again. Oh my God. Oh man. All right, I keep screwing this up. It's over there. Eden Center's right there. But I keep messing up. All right, well, okay, let's go here. Let me show you a couple of these shopping centers. They're actually really rad. Some of the shopping centers around here are just so cool. Like this Home Depot coming up. There's this other one on the right. Let me show you a couple of these shopping centers. So check this out.
Right now, we're pulling into what was the original Seven Corners shopping center that was built back in 1956. This place used to be a traditional open-air mall anchored by a Garfinkel's and a Woody's. There were escalators connecting the two floors with about 50 stores on the front and back of this mall, such as Tom McAn, Woolworths, Joseph Harris, People's Drugs, and the very first cafeteria in Northern Virginia called the S&W Cafeteria. The original Seven Corners shopping center cost about $25 million, and it was enclosed in 1972. The mall served the community until the mid-1990s, when it was shuttered due to the direct loss of Garfinkel's, Raleigh's, and Woody's within years of each other.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Home Depot like this before. This is one of the coolest things, like ever. It's like a 2-floor Home Depot. I've never seen this before. Look.
The Seven Corners Shopping Center was redeveloped by 1995, and that's when this rad-looking Home Depot moved in, which actually isn't 2 floors. It just has a 2-level garage. There's no interior concourse at this place anymore, but it does still have the original underground service tunnel with an entrance down near Ross. You can probably see what it looks like down there if you accidentally drive your car through it, but I had nothing to do with you doing that.
This entire episode is just ridiculous. It's between the mall, the Springfield Town Center being just a dud, and me getting completely lost around Falls Church trying to get to the Eden Center, and it's just like a quarter mile away. I just saw it. This is ridiculous. I'm so sorry, Legion. I'm so sorry for all of this. This is just unforgivable. Terrible. All right, there's another shopping center coming up that I just think is super rad. Let me show you this. I don't even know why we're doing this anymore. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so I kept going the wrong way. I kept making the wrong turn. I sort of got kind of lost, even though Eden Center is like a 1/10 of a mile that way. And at this point, it's like 9 o'clock, and I'm sure there's nothing open inside Eden Center. We're still gonna go there, and I'm still gonna go inside, I think, most likely if the door's open. But this whole little side quest is just such a disaster at this point. I'm just gonna double down. I found a couple of strip malls right up the street from Eden Center. One of them's right behind me right now, and the only thing I know about this one is that it's called Wilston II, or Wilston 2. I don't know anything else about this place other than the fact that it looks super cool. And every time I've driven past this, I'm like, I need to go see what this is all about. There's like an upstairs section, and there's like a shady elevator that I'm gonna go on. And in my last episode on Dulles Town Center, I mentioned how there was this big shift that's been happening after the year 2000 into strip malls. So let's see. I'm gonna go explore really quick, and then we'll go to the next one, and then we'll go to Eden Center. What a disaster. Okay, so again, the only thing that I know about this place for sure is that it's called Wilston 2 or Wilston II. And there it is. From the street, it just looks so cool. There's 2 floors. There's this like weird little cove, stairwell cove, and a sketchy looking elevator. So let's see if the elevator's actually even, oh, never mind. No, it says it's out of service. Come on. I was gonna get on there. But it says do not use. Does it even still work? No, it's off. All right, so we're going up here. We're gonna see what's going on here, because my curiosity means you'll see more parts of the world. So here we are. Falls Church, upstairs in this weird little strip mall. And that's it. It's not like a dead strip mall or anything. There's stuff open, but that's it. Okay, so there's another one right across the street. So I'm gonna go across the street and then a little further to the Eden Center, which is right over there. This is such a disaster. I tried to do like a fun side quest real quick out to the Eden Center because the Springfield Town Center part was such a failure. It's embarrassing, man. This is such a disaster. Okay. I could probably walk there, but I'm not going to. Oops, I was just driving the wrong way up that street. The wheels are completely off of this portion of my video. If I still have like 2 people here, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. This is such a disaster, but whatever. I have to just commit. At this point, I have to commit. Let me show you the outside of apparently what's called Wilston. So we just saw Wilston 2 or Wilston II, and there's this sketchy looking strip mall that reminds me of Baltimore. There's a stairwell right behind me that leads down to like the front area. Let's spend a couple of minutes walking around here, because at this point, whatever. Let's go. Nice. Oh yeah, that is so shady looking. I love it. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is totally making up for everything that happened at Springfield Town Center. Oh, this is awesome. God, you don't see anything like this anymore. This is just so cool. Like, it's so unique. And it's just like little places like a thrift shop. Oh my God, this is just so cool. This is so rad. Oh, I wish I lived closer to this. Look at this place. This is so cool. So, okay, that Taekwondo place, that's what we saw on the back half over back there. So, like, there's no like balcony that you can go up to there, but those are the windows for the back half tenants. That's so cool. Bubble Laundromat Stevens Shop. Man, that's so, there's just like no national tenants here. I love this. Wow, look how cool this is. Look how absolutely awesome this is. This is such an underground looking strip center. Just a place called Bodega. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, this is so cool. Man, look at the shingles. It's so old school. I love this place so much. This is really tremendous. I absolutely love the aesthetic of this place. And it's even cooler because there's just no national chains here. This is just mom and pop shops all day. All right, Wilston won. You're awesome. I'm gonna stop by here again just to see it again. But let's go right now over to you know what, honestly, here's what I'm gonna do. All right, it's 9:30 now. I'm gonna go for a run really quick at the Seven Corners Planet Fitness. I'm gonna go for a run, and then immediately I'm gonna take you all to the Eden Center right across the street. So that's gonna happen right now. Let's go. Okay, now that I'm like done getting swole out of my mind, we're gonna go right across the street to the Eden Center. Once and for all, we're gonna put this crazy train wreck of an episode out of its misery and end on a super high note in another dimension at the weird mini mall, the Eden Center. It's right there. Come on, let's go.
Here we are, finally arriving at the Eden Center. Thanks so much for sticking with me through this catastrophe of an episode so far, Legion. This place is worth the wait, I promise. When I pulled in, it was about 9 p.m., and all of the normal establishments, including the grocery store, were closed. But all 3 interior concourses were still open to the public since they've got things like bars and billiard halls open much later than advertised. This is not a dead mini mall. It might look dead because of the time that I filmed it, but during the day this place is packed, and for good reason too. The food here at Eden Center is legendary. Through this bit, I'm going to weave the history of Eden Center in and out of some in-camera observation, so let's get into it.
So here we are at the Eden Center. It's a little hot out, a little summer rain shower, but we're gonna start in Saigon East. Over here, there's actually 2 major enclosed portions that I'm going to show you today, and we're going to start over here.
Welcome to the Eden Center. As I just said in camera, we're going to start in Saigon East, which itself has 2 concourses that we'll be touring, and a bit later we'll head across the parking lot to Saigon West to finish things up. But let's dive into the history for this incredible mini mall. The Eden Center began its life back in 1962 when it first opened as the Plaza 7 Shopping Center. Not the Seven Corners Shopping Center, which was up the street, but the Plaza 7 Shopping Center. This place was originally built by New York-based developer Norman Ebenstein through his company Capital Commercial Properties, which he founded 1 year prior in 1961. The shopping center was an open-air design anchored by a Grand Union shopping market and a Zayre discount department store. Through the 1960s and mid-70s, the country of Vietnam would be consumed by civil war. The United States ultimately sent over 3 million troops to fight alongside the South Vietnamese against the communists of North Vietnam. The efforts were a failure, and on April 30, 1975, the city of Saigon fell to the Northern Communists. From 1975 until 1980, nearly 200,000 Vietnamese refugees moved to America, with nearly 30,000 of them having moved to the greater Washington, D.C. area alone, making it the third largest concentration of Vietnamese immigrants in the country behind Southern California and Houston, Texas. Then by the late 1970s, the Bloomingdale's chain had opened their first full-line branch outside of New York City, right up the street at the Tyson's Corner Center Mall. Meanwhile, there was constant construction on the upcoming Clarendon, D.C. metro station, causing an exodus out of the Arlington area and over to Tyson's. This would cause a massive decrease in rent prices, and many of the Vietnamese that came over here to the States after the fall of Saigon would move to the Clarendon neighborhood of Arlington, which became known as Little Saigon. Even though Saigon was officially renamed to Ho Chi Minh City in 1976, the displaced South Vietnamese refugees adopted the name Little Saigon as a sign of respect and affection for their past and rich cultural heritage, which is also why the Saigon East and West concourses here at the Eden Center retain their names to this day.
Yikes.
By 1979, the Clarendon, D.C. metro station was open, which immediately caused developers to start buying up all the land in the area, and subsequently forced landlords to raise prices now that the area had a direct line into D.C. Many of the small mom-and-pop shops just couldn't afford the newly increased rent, and Little Saigon was fading quickly. However, just a few miles up the street, a new opportunity would present itself right here at the Plaza 7 shopping center. In 1984, the Grand Union at Plaza 7 would shutter, and that same year, Capital Commercial Properties would reconfigure the interior as a 2-concourse layout, with dozens of interior tenant stalls, similar to how the former JCPenney was reconfigured at Sol Plaza near Baltimore. Ebenstein and his team would survey the area looking for ways to fill space in his new mini-mall, and they noticed a tranche of shuttered businesses just a few miles west in Little Saigon. So he contacted some of the displaced small businesses and offered them attractive leasing rates at his newly reconfigured interior at the Plaza 7 Mall, which until this point only had a 7-Eleven and a Zayre open for business. When David and Vicky Tu were forced to close their watch repair shop in Little Saigon, they would be the first tenants here at Plaza 7 Mall with the opening of their DuPont Central jewelry store. Soon after, many of their similarly displaced friends and family would also lease spaces for various stores in these concourses. A new sign then hung on the facade of the mall that just said Eden, to signify the close ties back to the Eden Arcade Market in Ho Chi Minh City, which also had a diverse offering of tenant stalls similar to what was happening right here at Plaza 7 in the 80s. By 1988, the Zayre department store chain had sales of about $1.4 billion, but they were still coming up at a $69 million loss for the year, and it looked like it was time to bail. They turned the company's focus towards their TJ Maxx subsidiary and chose to sell all 400 Zayre stores to Ames in exchange for $140 million in Ames stock and $431.4 million in cash. After the sale, all Zayres would be shuttered and rebranded into Ames, which included the location here at the former Plaza 7 shopping center, which had reopened as an Ames by 1990. At this time, Ames and 7-Eleven were the only nationally known tenants left, and Plaza 7 was quickly becoming the new heart of the DC Metro Vietnamese American community.
So I mentioned that there's two major indoor concourses here. There's Saigon East and Saigon West. But what I didn't point out is that Saigon East has two of concourses by itself. So there's two separated concourses. There's one a little bit further down, and then there's another one right here. So we just saw the first one that had trans video, and then we're gonna go into this one here where there's like billiard halls and stuff like that going on, and really just reeks of cigarette smoke. So let's go inside the second concourse for Saigon East. Come on. Okay, so the first Saigon East entrance we came in was down there. So here is the second one. This second concourse of Saigon East reminds me so much of Seoul Plaza back at the Security Square Mall. Even though this place has a number of empty storefronts, I wouldn't call it a dead mini mall. About 8 years ago when I filmed the pilot episode for the ExLog, Seoul Plaza was pretty much empty. There was a sketchy restaurant and the Seoul Spa, that's it. But when I visited a few years later, it had so much more life. Don't get me wrong, it was still dead, but there were people hanging out at the billiards hall, dancing and singing at the karaoke place, and there were quite a few people going in and out of Seoul Spa. Seoul Plaza would remain open much later than Security Square Mall, and the smell of cigarette smoke filled the concourse. Hell, when I went to the spa, even the workers inside were smoking. Okay, so immediately coming into this second half of Saigon East, this one has a much, much different atmosphere. There are just like bars, there's karaoke, billiards, and just like empty shops. I like this side better. What drew me to Eden Center was just how real it is. There's no whitewashed veneer like we saw at Springfield Town Center telling people what they should like. This place is entirely authentic, and you can really tell that both the owners and the local community are fully invested in keeping this place going. My inner dead mall adventurer is in love with the Eden Center, mostly because of its overall aesthetic. The concourse smells like stale beer and cigarettes. There's holes in the ceiling, grease and mildew on the floors, and there's probably a few dead rats inside the walls. This magnificent mini mall looks like an enclosed New York City alleyway, but more importantly, to me it looks and feels and smells and sounds just like Seoul Plaza, and that's where it all started for me. So this side of Saigon East has quite a few more social establishments than the other side of Saigon East. You saw there was a karaoke place, there was a bar, there's a billiards place, and even though it's raining out, I decided to step outside for a second because this back door to Saigon East was open, and I think this is the coolest entrance to like a mini mall that I've seen in quite a long time. This is really something. This is cool. By the mid-1990s, Capital Commercial Properties had fully embraced the name Eden Center, and according to their lawyer, Alan Frank, the name Plaza 7 just faded away, as this mall had strictly become Vietnamese American-owned businesses. Then in 1996, Ebenstein brought a major overhaul to the shopping center with the addition of a 32,400 square foot interior concourse called Saigon West, along with a full renovation to the former Grand Union space, which was now called Saigon East. By January of 1997, the shopping center had its formal grand rededication as the Eden Center. The parking lot would also adopt street names of famed South Vietnamese generals. With this renovation, a brand new clock tower was installed on the facades as an exact replica of the clock tower in downtown Ho Chi Minh City, along with an arched entrance protected by two angry-looking dragons. Just after opening, the Eden Center was awarded the most improved commercial property in Falls Church, Virginia. And if you've ever had banh mi or pho somewhere in DC, Virginia, or Maryland, you can thank the thriving Vietnamese American community in Falls Church and the Ebenstein family for bringing that amazing food and culture to this area. Seriously, if you want a good bowl of pho, you need to hit up this area. Eden Center has made the news and seen a bit of drama over the years, though. Months after its grand opening, there was a fatal shooting inside this concourse, which prompted Falls Church PD to open a substation here. But after the turn of the millennium, things grew quiet again until 2009, when Anthony Bourdain visited the Eden Center to shoot an episode of No Reservations as part of his Washington, D.C. tour. Chef Bourdain would showcase the Songke Deli and their banh mi sandwiches. Obviously, his visit to the Eden Center made the entire area blow up overnight, and business at this mall would flourish through the 2010s. So Saigon East is shaped like a U on both of its concourses. So this is like one side of the Saigon East concourse, and then we were in the other one before. They're not very big, but the side of Saigon East closer to the main road that you come in off of, this side of Saigon East, that's actually closer to the grocery store. It has more experiential things, karaoke, billiards and stuff for locals, I guess. They're really into that. But let's just take one more lap around here, and then we'll go over to Saigon West so that we can see that. That's shaped more like an H, but it's across the parking lot. So let's take one more lap through both concourses of Saigon East, and then we'll go over to West. All right, let's go. Oh my God. Okay, so this side of Saigon East with chicken broth, the billiards, and and the karaoke. There's a smell coming from one of those places. I don't know what it is. It's got a heavy smell of like cigarettes and death. This place is great, but I need to get out of here.
The Eden Center would make headlines once again in 2011 when several businesses were raided by the Virginia State Police and the FBI. The authorities seized over $1 million in cash, along with several illegal gambling machines that were suspected to have been used in a money laundering operation. 19 people were arrested, with most of them being cited for gambling and distribution of alcohol without a license. Ultimately, all the charges against everyone involved were dropped, which would spark tension between locals in the community and the Falls Church government, which was accused of racism and poorly run investigations by local PD.
It's weird, as you walk along the sidewalk here in front of all the storefronts, there's all these jewelry stores that just don't have anything inside of them. Like this one, there's nothing on any of these mannequins. And as I'm looking inside, I don't see anything in the display cases either. There's actually another one up here. So there's a jewelry place that I guess looks shut down. There's a salon. There's this big empty storefront. Just says Saigon, USA. And here's another one. Here's another jeweler. I don't know what's going on. Like there's more empty mannequins. I don't know. And like right at the front of this side of Saigon East over here, there's even more empty mannequins at what I think is like a jewelry place. Yeah. So right now I'm in front of the grocery store that I guess serves as the senior anchor for Eden Center. And I just want to take a peek inside. They're closed, so I'm just going to kind of peek inside the door so you can see maybe something inside. But it just looks like an international food market. They sell a whole bunch of stuff. So let's just take a peek inside before we head over to Saigon West. Here, let me show you what I'm looking at. And just by the way, it looks like the supermarket is called Good Fortune, I guess. Is that what it's called? Yup. All right, just so that we can calibrate where everything is here. There's the grocery store, the Good Fortune grocery store. We have a couple of abandoned storefronts here. Then this is one of the mall entrances for Saigon East. This side, which is shaped like a U, this is the side where you go in to see the karaoke place, the billiards. A bunch of people are smoking and drinking and stuff. If you go a bit further down, here you'll see another mall entrance, and that one is for the other side of Saigon East, which also has some stuff. And this one's a little bit more put together, and it has restaurants and stuff like that. So that's right here. So again, this is shaped like a U. So you go in here, you swing around, and that back concourse comes around like that, and it comes out right here. Right there. So it comes around, goes, this is the one with like the orange hallway, the orange bathroom back there that I saw. So you've got this entrance for part one of Saigon East, that comes out over there. And then a bit further down next to the grocery store is the jankier part of Saigon East with the billiards and the bars and stuff like that. So anyway, across to Saigon West. Okay, so as I'm like exploring around here, just looking for new stuff that I could get into, I saw this window behind me here that's got these stairs going down to who knows where. It doesn't look like I can get in here. It doesn't look like there's a door that I could go in. It does say stair B. It doesn't look like, no. It's not open. Sorry to tease you all, Legion. By the way, just to further calibrate where we are here, the Saigon East over there that has the two major concourses that are shaped like U's. Over here at where we're going to Saigon West, it's connected by this other like strip mall-esque kind of area. It's just like a transom between Saigon East and West. So if you come here looking for more interior concourses to go explore, there aren't anymore. There's only the two major ones at Saigon East and then the other one at Saigon West, where we're headed right now. So the entrance for Saigon West is right here. This is it right here.
Attention shoppers, guess what? Salvatore informed me that we would be filming at the Springfield Mall today, but that place is worse than a priest at a playground, and I won't be cleaning those floors even with my brother's mop handle. But the Eden Center, woo-wee, shoosh, I love this mangy old mini mall. This is where I brought Marna to play pool and smoke cigarettes on our first date when we used soda straws to drink soup called fuck or something. It was all Marna's idea, and that beautiful grease queen said that it reminded her of her first internship at Soul Plaza back at Security Square Mall. Unfortunately, I guess it looks like Marna's going to be incarcerated down in Juarez for the foreseeable eternity, and I sure will miss what she calls those girthy moments. But at least I had the fortune to connect with Marna's sister, Mademoiselle Gina, to keep me company on these dark, soggy nights. I need you all to beg my pardon real quick, because I'm about to meet Gina for some knee-slapping song and dance at that fancy karaoke bar in East Saigon. We might just stay here at the Eden Center for the rest of our lives, so if I don't talk to y'all again, have a good apple pie now and again and brush your teeth. Bye, Marna.
Here's another billiard place. There's a gift shop. Again, like tchotchke stuff. And then the other concourse. So it's a pretty simple layout. So right away in here, Saigon West, this is shaped like an H. So we're gonna go down this hallway, and then there's this connecting hallway that goes to the other side of Saigon West. But they're just two long concourses that are connected by a middle part, shaped like an H. This one's mainly just restaurants and a couple of gathering places, social places. There's a bar in here. Yeah, so this one's got the same kind of stuff inside. It's got restaurants, it's got jewelers, it's got tchotchke shops, same kind of thing going on in here. Just a little bit bigger, taller. It feels a bit more open, wider. But again, it's the same kind of thing. It's just a concourse full of mom and pop shops. There's no national tenants here. I get massive Soul Plaza vibes in here, and I think that's what drew me to Eden Center. In the pictures that I saw online, in like some of the videos that I saw, it just gave me big Soul Plaza vibes back at Security Square. And Soul Plaza has been reconfigured into a church, I believe. I haven't been there in quite some time, so if any of you watching this know, let me know. But again, this place has just a ton of mom and pop shops, and it is meant to service the local community with exactly what they want from a mini mall. So right now we are out back in like the alleyway of Saigon West, and right behind us there is this, it's like an animal rescue place. It looks like if you find like a stray, you bring the animal here, and it looks like they care for them until they can rehome them. And then right behind that is Saigon West. This is the entrance to Saigon West. You can see the burnt out sign over here for West. There's one of the entrances. I don't know which way I'm pointing my finger. One of the entrances, and then the other one is over here.
So if you wind up like near this animal rescue place, I can't even see myself right now. Oh my God, this is such a disaster. Oh, look how sweaty the door looks. Ugh. Ugh. God, I hope this rain stops soon. All right, so there you have it. That's the Eden Center in its entirety. A lot of people have been asking me to come here to check this out for a long time. And there it is. You have Saigon East with both of its main concourses, and you have Saigon West over here with its big H-shaped concourse. And that's it. Really rad place, awesome place. And from what I hear, there's an awesome amount of really great food here. So if you're in town, come to the Eden Center. Come check it out, come eat food here. I'm gonna be visiting off camera to get some food here, and I'll report back on social media. So that's the Eden Center. I hope all of you dug this side quest. It was a lot of fun to come over here and film this. This was super unexpected. And for how much of a disaster and train wreck this entire episode was, from Springfield Town Center totally falling apart and all those strip malls that I visited, I think this kind of brought it back for me. So let me show you some of the outside, and then we'll close the episode out.
The Eden Center hasn't changed one bit since its renovation in 1996. The way you see it today, minus a few small changes here and there, that's how the Eden Center has always looked. But the state of disrepair and the dated aesthetic, though, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another redevelopment to refresh the aging Saigon East concourses. Let me reiterate that this place is doing great, and that all of you should visit to get some amazing food and to see what I think is the most legendary aging mini mall in the DC metro region. As far as the Springfield Town Center is concerned, just skip it and look at some pictures or watch my episode again. We can pretend that it just never happened. I'd like to thank all of you so much for sticking with me through this episode. What you just watched totally could have been 2 ExLogs, but given how my tour of the Eden Center came about, I feel like it just needed to be one complete thought, one expedition. So thanks again. I really do appreciate your patience while I worked things out during this side quest. Thanks especially to my patrons, elite explorers, and everyone that now owns a small piece of my adventure with ExLog merch. I still have some Eternal Dead Mall Leaf bookmarks and signed photos for sale, and in the coming months, as we wind down this DC Metro epoch, I'll be getting some exciting new merch listed for sale. So please keep an eye on salvatoreamadeo.com/merch to browse the collection. I hand pack and hand wax seal every package and ship it out within a day or two. You can also follow me on social media to see what I'm up to between episodes on Instagram and Blue Sky at Salvatore Amadeo. You can also chat with me live on my Discord server by going to discord.gg/dmod to join. I'll be back soon with the penultimate episode in ExLog Phase 8, where we visit the Manassas Mall before finishing it out in my new hometown, Taubman, the Fair Oaks Mall. But until then, please stay safe out there, Legion. Take care of yourselves, and have a fantastic day.
The 90s are here. And so is a way to explore new horizons. The new 4-door Explorer from Ford. Explore an interior with more room than any competitor. Explore exclusive push-button 4-wheel drive. Explore 4-liter power. Discover 4-door Explorer from Ford.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Flight from London now arriving.
Springfield Mall, and don't spare the horses.
Springfield Mall would like to apologize to the good people of London for the recent decline in business caused by more people shopping at Springfield Mall instead.
Gosh, it's big.
But the fact is, Springfield Mall has everything you need under one roof.
I say.
So a trip to London might not be worth it. Sorry.
No harm done, then. Cheerio.
See platform modeling at Springfield Mall on Father's Day, June 15th.